Today, Congress released the 2025 VA disability compensation payment rate increases. My name is Greg. I'm a disabled veteran turned attorney, and I've helped hundreds of veterans recover millions of dollars in wrongfully denied disability benefits.
And I'm Victoria Rada. Like Greg said, we're going to discuss the rate increase for 2025. Before we dive into that, we are going to talk about a couple commonly asked questions. So first things first, are these annual rate increases automatic?
They are not automatic. I don't know why Social Security's rate increases are automatic, but every year Congress has to improve the rate increases for veterans. There's been efforts to make it automatic, but it's Congress and the bill never passes. So again, every year Congress has to vote on the increase, which they always do. Sometimes it comes down to the last minute, but it's silly that they have to do a vote every year when they could just make it automatic like Social Security.
Has there ever been a year where they didn't approve it?
No.
Has Congress ever decreased the rate?
Congress has never decreased the rate, which is good news. However, they don't always increase it, meaning there have been years, most recently after the Great Recession, I think it was 2011 and 2012, where they approved a 0% increase. And so your payment rate for those years just stayed the same as it was for the prior years.
How is the new rate determined?
So it's pegged to whatever Social Security does. And Social Security uses the Consumer Price Index, aka the rate of inflation for consumer goods. It's the way that the government tracks cost of living for people. And so Social Security sets their rate every year, and then Congress passes a bill saying that the VA payment rate increase is going to be whatever Social Security did.
So what everybody wants to know and is tuning into this video for is what the current rate increase is. So let us hear it.
Drum roll. The increase for this year is 2.5%.
And give us an idea of what that means. Is that a great increase? Is it an average increase?
So I'd say it's about average. It's going to look like a terrible increase compared to the last 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
I think you have those numbers there if you want to share those.
Yeah, it looks like last year was a 3.2% increase. And then the previous 2 years were pretty significant. 2023 was an 8.7% increase. In 2022, we were looking at 5.9% increase. So really big bumps during the COVID-19 pandemic. And then last year, a little higher than this current increase.
Right. So those COVID increases, they weren't increased because of COVID. They were increased because COVID resulted in inflation. And so again, that's how these rate increases are pegged to inflation. And we had super high inflation those years. So the annual payment rate increase for veterans was higher than normal. So this is the lowest rate increase in the past 4 years. But I don't know. I think the government's target for inflation is around 2%. So we're getting back to normal. And so that's why this year's rate increase is so low compared, but in historical context, it's about average.
And it's an increase. It's not a 0%. So
it's not 0%.
Give us an idea of numbers, just so people can estimate if they're currently rated at 50%. Like what is that going to look like, and when does that go into effect?
All right, so I brought up on the screen the estimated 2025 payment rates. First column, you'll see the percentage that you have. The second yellow column are your current payment rates. And then the third column in green is the estimated rates for 2025. And then the fourth column simply shows how much the monthly rate's going to go up in a dollar amount for each disability rating. So you had asked, when do these payment rates go into effect? The official new payment rate goes into effect December 1, but VA pays in arrears, meaning they pay backwards. So veterans will actually see the new payment rate when they get their payment at the end of December or the beginning of January, depending on your bank. And then just note that VA actually hasn't released their new payment rate chart. You can look up all these rates on VA's websites. They don't have 2025 up. So this is our estimated. It may not be exact, maybe off by a few cents, but we simply took the 2024 rates and multiplied that by 2.5%. 2.5%, which we know is the rate increase.
And you can see our chart is based on a single veteran. So obviously, if you have dependents, these numbers are going to fluctuate, depending on your personal circumstances.
Exactly. If you're married, if you have kids, your rate's going to be different from this. If you want to know almost exactly what your new rate's going to be, take what you're currently receiving it and times it by 2.5%. And you'll have a really close estimate of what your new payment rate is going to be for 2025.
And that's actually the last question I was going to ask you was, does the increase also affect the extra compensation you receive for having dependents?
Yeah, it's across the board. Any type of payment, special monthly compensation, dependent rates.
So everything gets that little bump.
Everything gets bumped by 2.5%.
And you can see on our chart, if you're currently at 100%, your new monthly payment is going to go up by approximately $100, just under $100, $93.45. And then all of the other numbers are listed there. But all right, that's it for today. Those are the 2025 payment rates. If there are any questions you have lingering, feel free to leave them in the comments. We always respond to those, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks for joining, and don't forget to like and subscribe. We appreciate your support.